Jay, so yesterday there was another school shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. Six people were killed, three of them kids, 9 years old, and three adults. The person who committed the shooting was also, fatally shot.
So that's seven.
That's seven. Um, and I just can't recount the number of mass shootings that have happened this
Don't
year
try.
alone.
Don't try.
But what do you say, Jay? How do you encourage? What do you say to parents? You're a parent. I'm a parent. We have kids. How do we shift our mind and get our energy right and, just kind of stay level headed and stay positive?
You don't.
I don't,
Ain't nothing. I ain't, man. I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say. This is ridiculous. I'm not gonna keep going through the whole diatribe about what the government needs to do. They know what they need to do. That's one of the reasons why I hate politics. Hate with a capital H. I understand that it's needed, especially if you know it. You can navigate in this space, especially in this country, and grow to certain heights. But man, it's such a sucky game, man, because the right answer is never the right answer, man. And the truth is so far from these people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nuts. So going down that road is a waste of time. It's about action. You know what I'm saying? Like when that happened, my kids came home. I immediately had a conversation with them. How y'all feeling? I mean, they didn't know exactly what happened. I told them because I try my best not to hide nothing from my children. But I had a conversation with them and I just told them, I said, if ever I decide that you guys are not going to traditional school again, I don't want to hear nothing out of y'all. Because my kids are very social. They love going to school. They love kicking it with their classmates and their teachers and all that other stuff. They're good kids when it comes to that. And, but I know as a parent, that's nuts, man. That's just nuts. Like, these people are bugging. Now, I did hear some reports that this was a transgender man or woman, however that word was. A woman supposed to be, that's identifying as a man. And I don't know how true this is, that it was supposed to be he or she was upset about some ruling in the state of Tennessee about children not being able to change their sex. I don't know how true this is because, social media put out some of everything. It seemed like it was something that was along the lines. But the fact that if that is the truth, are you serious? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's all root causes. Now, I do get this. They stick to this. I get this. It ain't the guns. It's the user of the guns. I get that. And they're absolutely right. But we have an underlying problem where you're talking about mental health, and you have individuals that's making a decision that they don't want to be a certain sex anymore. And then now you got it to the point where you have children, that you're forcing children to be able to, or you're forcing the world to be okay with with children making a decision like this. These kids can't choose to go to the military until they're 17, 18 years old. They can't choose to smoke a cigarette until they're 18 legally. I don't hear no complaints about that. Buy alcohol, legally buy marijuana. It's so many things that they legally, and not enough people protesting about, which I don't think they should protest about it. They can't do these things till 18 or 21. They can't even get a driver's license. So you're telling me a kid who is not able to get a driver's license, it's a conversation that they should be able to make a choice of them that changing, who they are as a man or a woman. These are nuts. These are conversations. Then they're talking about bullying. When my daughter written 2 books about bullying, anti-bullying books, and I showed her videos video when we were a kid called Your Mama's on Crack Rock. Because I wanted her to see what bullying in the early 90s, late 80s was, and to what they call bullies now. And this is a music video with this young black girl was standing in a circle and a whole bunch of young black kids around her yelling, "Yo, mama's on crack rock." And she said her retort was, "Not my mama." If that happened today, that little girl would have shot up a school. What's going on social media? What's going on television? What our kids have access to? What we're pumping in our children's head today is starting this stuff. And that young lady was 28 years old. So which means she grew up under the Columbine scenario, because that just happened when she was 4 years old, possibly 4 or 5 years old when that happened. And then all the other shootings that happened that preceded on Columbine or came after Columbine, she grew up in that era. And so this was what was taught to how she deal with her mental health, and that her life wasn't even that important enough, to go ahead, because when you go out and shoot a bunch of people, it's a good chance you're not going to make it out of there alive. And our children, even at 28, you're still young, are making crazy decisions like this to where it's all good. I don't want to live, and I'm going to go and shoot some people, not whoever potentially hurt her, but babies. And I'm a black man. I was a white school, so it has nothing to do with saying babies are babies. And she went and shot up babies, and she went to a church. It was a church. It's to people we didn't want to curse in front of a church when we were growing up. And now that's totally fine to walk into church with a gun and shoot. If y'all don't think that something's wrong with this country right now, there's something wrong with you. I don't know what to tell parents. I know that as a parent, I'm paying close attention to what's happening. And it's going to be very soon, a decision is going to be made in my household on whether or not I'm going to take it upon myself to change their educational path, to make sure that they're not in a school where that can happen. But it's happening everywhere. It's happening in grocery stores. It's happening at gas stations. It's happening everywhere. A lot of stuff has to change unless we're going to be comfortable living in chaos. But I refuse to be. And so that's my start in my little corner of the world. I refuse to succumb to that mentally, saying, hey, I'm going to be just okay with living in that type of chaos. It is better ways, and my goal is to find it for me and mine. And if I'm able to successfully do that, tell other people so that they can do the same.